Hey guys, good evening and welcome to Team Fresh and Fit weekly call. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been together and Brandy did our last call, so I'm really glad to be back with you guys. We're just coming off our first annual Diamond Retreat, and a lot of us who attended are tired and exhilarated and excited and pumped up and exhausted all at once. So tonight's call is going to be really special. We've got three other coaches who attended the retreat on the call with me, and I'm going to be going through and letting them share a little bit about their experience and what they learned with you and how you can get in on that same type of experience later in April and again in July, and you don't have to wait a whole entire year for our next Diamond Retreat next March. But before we get to all that, I do have some really cool announcements and recognition to do really quick. First of all, coming up next month is the quarterly Super Saturday, Super Sunday that Beachbody puts on for us to be able to get together, hear from amazing speakers, get the latest and greatest news from Beachbody. A lot of times there's a workout for a new program or a class you can be certified to teach. So find out where the event closest to you is being held and on which day, and go. Even if you have to go by yourself or take your kids or take your spouse and make it a family affair, just go. It's really important. If you need help finding an event near you, please reach out to your upline and ask them for help. See if you can carpool. See if they can help you figure out where in the Coach Online office to go to find your event near you. Looking a little further ahead to summits, it seems to me that in our team, I'm sure it's not just unique to us, that there are those coaches who are going to go all in. They're going to be at every event. They're not going to miss a call. They're going to be everywhere, do everything. And then there are others who kind of stand off on the sidelines and they wonder, does that apply to me? Am I supposed to be there? Am I supposed to do that? Well, here's the deal. You all are supposed to be at Summit. It's in July, it's in Nashville, and you need to get your tickets ASAP before the price goes up. Again, ask your upline for help on getting the information on that. There will be almost 20,000 Beachbody coaches in Nashville, Tennessee, all networking, learning, working out, celebrating, connecting, having fun, and it will truly change the course of your business forever. I kid you not. You can ask me. I'll be happy to tell you about my first experience at Summit. Last year was even better for me. We took 17 coaches with us last year. I'd love for us to at least double that this year and have 35 to 40 coaches from our team there at Summit. And lodging, there's still some lodging stuff up in the air, so if you'd like to see about going, just start asking questions because you need to be there. A couple other announcements. The April calendar for our team calendar we follow every month. I'm working on that tomorrow, so look for that to be posted in all the different team pages over the weekend, and that way you'll be all set for the next 3 months. The April, May, and June calendar will be available to you to help you know what to do each day and make sure that your month includes business building activities that move you forward. The people who follow this team calendar achieve Success Club. They rank advance, they build their income, and they're able to help a lot of people get started on their fitness journey. So you need to be following that. Okay, recognition. We had a big day today, huge day. Jennifer Allen is a brand new 1-star diamond. So awesome job for her, and to her diamond Kayla Doss for holding rank for the entire 6 weeks of qualification, which allowed Jennifer to advance. So these two ladies work hand in hand together, and that achievement may have Jennifer's name on it, but Kayla is just as much part of it as Jennifer, and the two of them work hand in hand. I'm so proud of you both and your team and what you guys are doing to cultivate new leaders and growth for the people that you are taking care of. Um, Certainly, no less cause to celebrate is Brandy Trammell's advancement to 2-star diamond. Huge accomplishment for her. That allows Brandy to be eligible for the 2-star bonus, which is a huge step in the right direction for her goals with her business. And it's no secret, Brandy works hand in hand with me. We are success partners, accountability partners, and I feel like her achievement, her accomplishment is just as much mine as it is hers. So I'm really proud of you two for this major step in the direction of your goals. It's huge, and I know you're excited. We all applaud you. Lots of people with crazy good stuff going on. We've got some new emeralds. We've got people finishing up Coach Basics boot camp. Really, the first quarter of this year has just been beyond my wildest dreams. I personally rank advanced to 3-star diamond today. I still feel like that little emerald going, I'm still trying to get this, you know. So I never thought this day would come, and I have all of you to thank for sharing my vision, sharing my passion, and doing this with me day in and day out. You guys are out there helping people like crazy. We have almost 550 coaches on our team now. So props to all of you for being here and doing your thing. I'm proud of all of us for what we're accomplishing. All right, without further ado, we are going to get into some sharing about the retreat. And we're going to allow Wes Gilbert to go first because he actually has a new coach at his house right now who is waiting to learn from he and Katie about how to get her business started. So Wes, we're going to have you unmute yourself. And first of all, just tell us what you learned this weekend that was just like an aha moment for you that you either have already been applying to your business or that you are planning to apply soon.
Okay, great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. You know, it's actually pretty simple. For me, I would say the biggest takeaway that I had is just simply 3 words, and that's stop making excuses. I think for a long time, you know, I've been a coach for about 8 months, almost 9 months, and, you know, I find myself comparing myself to different individual people. We have different issues going on in our lives, and we all run our businesses different ways. And what I've come to realize is that, you know, what works for you may not work for me. You know, we have different schedules and everything, so instead of me using the excuse that, you know, for instance, you know, I work full-time, I don't have as many hours during the day as someone who does this full-time, you know, I just got to own the time that I do have and just really take responsibility for that and just do what it takes to make the best out of it. Stop making excuses.
That's awesome. And, you know, because I know like the inside part of this story, tell everybody how you came to that piece of information and the irony of that moment because it was not planned.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, you know, the cool thing was at this event, Miranda invited a fellow coach named John Hayes. He's a successful coach and also a photographer to come and to, you know, take some photographs, take some headshots, and just, anyway, we just started talking. I went out there, introduced myself to him while he was setting up, and, you know, we just started talking, and it was really cool because I had a chance to just really have a dialogue with another male coach. I mean, I completely value, you know, you, Miranda, and then Brandy Trammell, my personally sponsored coach, but there's just something about 2 guys being able to communicate, and he just basically started asking me just some point-blank questions about what I was doing, and I began to realize that every time he asked me a question, I would answer it, but then I had an excuse behind it. And he's like, well, why? You know, why don't you just do this, or why are you doing that? And so it really just, I don't know. Maybe it was the day, maybe it was the delivery, but it just hit me in the head, and I was like, dude, you gotta just quit making excuses.
That's right, and that's so incredibly powerful. But one thing that you said in telling that story that I picked up on was that you went out there to the patio where he was setting up, you introduced yourself, and you started allowing conversation to happen. And I want the other coaches on this call to hear that. So many times we stand back out of insecurity or fear or we don't feel like we're worthy, and we don't step out and go initiate a conversation, whether it's with someone we'd like to learn from within our industry, within the coaching network, or whether it's someone who we know needs Shakeology desperately, but for whatever reason we hang back. So I think the powerful lesson for all of us in your story, Wes, is that you put yourself out there to go out there and shake John's hand and start talking to him as he's setting up his photography equipment. Chance to meet a new person, to network with a guy coach. I mean, that's very valuable. You saw an opportunity and you went out there and you took it, not realizing what he was going to give you in return. Besides a beautiful, beautiful pictures of you and your wife and our team, he also was able to mentor you and pass on some information to you in a way that you could hear uniquely from what Brandy and I share and teach in a completely different way. So, again, the value of attending retreats, events, conferences, workshops is that right there. Because I could not have planned for that to happen for you at all. But you put yourself out there and boom, major aha moment.
Right.
So moving forward, what do you plan to do with this new no excuses mentality? How is that going to change what you do every day to reach your goals?
Well, I think it's going to really force me to just, get out of my comfort zone a little more. I don't really have a problem doing that because I really like people. I like to communicate with people. But I'm just like anyone else. I still have a box that I like to be in because it's comfortable. And I think it just really showed me that, Wes, every single day I've got to step out of that box and I've got to do something that may just feel a little uncomfortable. Because if we don't get out of that box, I mean, we're not only containing ourselves, but we're really containing our potential. And it just, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. So the second question that I want to throw at you is, how valuable was the retreat for you more on a personal level? What did you walk away with personally that was completely unexpected, that changed either the value of our team to you or what this coach opportunity means to you and your family? Tell me a little bit more about that, kind of on that personal level.
Sure. Well, when we found out that we qualified to go to this, thankful to my wife Katie, she's a new diamond coach. We tried to make some plans to have our kids be able to stay somewhere else. For us to be able to go without them. It's not that I don't want to take my kids, but come on, a 15-month-old and a 7-year-old sometimes can get a little crazy. So anyway, it didn't work out, and Katie and I were just like, well, we'll take them with us, and we'll just make it work. Well, to make a long story short, one of the biggest things that I got out of this on a personal level with being at the event was just family. I mean, our team truly is a family. We love each other. We take care of each other. And it was amazing to me how everyone that was there just embraced my children just like they were family. And that was huge to me. And also, I was able to finally put a face to a name with some of these people that, I've communicated with through social media or text messaging or whatever for the last almost a year, and I haven't met them yet. So it was just really good to be able to meet some of these people and interact with them. And I got to be honest with you, really the last thing I want to say about this is the fact that, we all need an extra kick in the seat sometimes. And there's just such a difference between watching something that's recorded and actually being there. And so with the events that are available, every quarter or so, it comes along right at about the time where I need that extra kick, to get me back in gear. And it just couldn't have came at a better time.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to let you go ahead and excuse yourself since you have a coach at your house to go get started. Thank you for what you and Katie are doing, and I appreciate you being on here sharing tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. I want to elaborate for just a second on the last thing that Wes said. He talked about how our team truly is a family and that everyone embraced his and Katie's kids without batting an eye. I want those of you who may feel like you're not on the inside of leadership and what's going on with our team. I've really had a heart the past few days for those of you who are struggling with feeling good enough for this business. We had a long thread going in the Team Fresh and Fit, the family page, about insecurity and just, struggling with self-doubt, and a lot of you chimed in. So I don't want any of you to think for a second that there's a clique or an in crowd in this team. We are all in this together, and a lot of the people that were at the retreat this weekend had never met one another face to face. Let me tell you about a few of those situations. I've only met Jennifer Allen one time in my entire life, and that was last April when she showed up as a brand new coach to PIO certification. So during PIO certification, we were busy all day. We were learning PIO. And there wasn't a lot of time to chit-chat and hang out, so it's not like we spent 8 hours together and became best friends. We really only got to talk over lunch for a very short break, and then it was back to PIO. So this weekend was only my second time to even meet her, and really my first time to hang out with her and talk with her at any length. So you guys might have been fooled into thinking, because she's a leader, I'm a leader, we work well together, that we've known each other forever and we're best buddies and we hang out all the time. No, nothing could be further from the truth. Also, Jennifer and Kayla Doss met each other in person for the first time ever in their lives. Half the people that came had never met the other half of the people that were there. So this was not some sort of family reunion gathering. This was risky. People who've never met each other coming to stay in one house together for an entire weekend. Two people had to bring their kids. Wes and Katie brought their kids, and then Melissa, who you'll hear from in a minute, had to bring her daughter. I brought my teenage son, River, to help babysit. They don't know if he's going to be a good babysitter, right? Or if their kids are going to trust or like him. So much risk involved in bringing this whole thing together. So when Wes tells you our team truly is a family, and he and Katie felt blessed by everyone embracing their children, that's what that looked like. A huge melting pot of strangers taking care of one another, hanging out, having the best time. So just wanted to give you a little bird's eye view on that aspect of things. And it doesn't matter who of us gets together, when, where, why, how. That's the dynamic. Over a year ago, Melissa Lehman and Jessica Heckel and I met and stayed in a hotel room together before a Super Sunday event, and Melissa and Jessica had never met each other. I had not seen Jessica in 20 years, and yet we got together, the three of us, stayed in a hotel together, went to dinner, we laughed, we cried, we got in a hot tub, and then we ran out as soon as we saw a roach crawling nearby. That family feel happens in every layer, in every way that we get together. So don't hold back and hesitate to join in on some of these events and these things we have going on. Okay, I'm going to move to Renee. Renee, let's see if we can get your audio to work. Okay, it shows you're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I'm gonna
have to. I won't be able to hear you.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I have to turn my phone off in order to talk, so you can not hear the echo, and I can't hear a thing you're saying.
Okay, let me type out a message to you.
So.
I'm going to send her the questions through typed out chat, and then we'll allow her to answer. So bear with me just 1 second.
Okay, you can send me the questions, I can talk.
Yeah, I'm going to type out the questions to Renee, and she's going to answer them. Okay.
So, what did we learn that we're implementing with our business? We just really, because my husband went with me, and so we just learned more from a couple's perspective, because I've been running the business. He is in love with the products and has been for a year or better, but hasn't really been doing anything with the business at all. And so he just really connected with Dennis Fowler this weekend, and so it got him more involved in the business aspect. He's always been very supportive of everything I've done, but he's just never really been involved. And so this weekend, he just having that one-on-one connection with him, and really connecting with his story, that helped him get more involved in the business side of it.
I'm asking Renee now, what exactly has Kelly done to be more involved so far? Because there's some specifics there she needs to tell you.
So what has he done to be more involved so far? Okay. Well, on the entire way home, he pretty much spoke to just about everybody he knew, I think. And he's always, because he works out religiously, he does everything, and so people are always coming up to him, asking him for advice, asking him what he's doing, and he's always been up front with them, but never really talked about specifics, like specifically Shakeology or specific programs. He does not like working out in front of the TV. He will with me occasionally, but he really likes CrossFit, Jiu-Jitsu, the gym, so he likes getting out in the mix. So as far as the programs, he's never really talked about any of the programs. He's done the 21-day fix and begrudgingly the 3-day refresh with me a few times, but he's never really pushed those because he doesn't do them. He sees me do them every morning, but he's just never been into working out in front of the TV. So he's always known they worked, and he believes in the products because he's seen my effects and my results and everything it's done for me. So he definitely believes in the products. He's just never used them. So he never really talked about those. So now he is really talking more about the 21-day fix, because he's familiar with that, and then just the programs that I've been using, which I've used just about all of them, I think. And he's really trying to help people fit into a program that works for them, specifically with Beachbody, and he always has people talking to him about his health and working out, so now he's just involving Beachbody in those conversations more than he ever has.
Awesome. Now I'm asking Renee, how valuable was the retreat for her personally?
So how, for me personally, the retreat, I enjoyed it, just meeting people. I mean, talking through these video calls and everything, you kind of feel like you already know everybody, and so seeing them face to face, it didn't really necessarily seem any different because you already kind of knew who they were, but just getting to know more personal, more of their personal stories, and just being involved with the whole photo shoot and all that. That's like way out of my comfort zone. I do not obviously fix my hair, wear makeup, any of that, so getting dressed up about church is about as fancy as I get, so it was a whole different experience for me, and so it was just kind of stepping out of that comfort zone, and I think that helps me with, like Wes said, kind of getting out of your box, because we kind of had to this weekend to do all that, and so that helps more on the personal side too, as you're trying to reach out to people and talk to them more about Beachbody and their health and everything else that goes along with that.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
I just told Renee, you rock, you're awesome, and thanked her for her time. It's so hard when she can't hear me to try to do these calls, and she handled that so beautifully with me typing out stuff to her through chat while she's talking. I want to elaborate just a little bit on a couple of things that Renee shared with you. From my perspective, watching her husband Kelly attend the retreat with her, there was an obvious shift. So he showed up to support her, to be there for her. This is her thing, and he's there as her supportive, loving husband, cheering her on. He believed in her. He is so proud of what she's accomplished with her own fitness journey. Renee's had a pretty drastic transformation, so you'll have to check out her pictures sometime. But Kelly was there completely to play that doting husband role for his beautiful wife. And then Dennis Fowler happened. So Dennis and Julie Fowler were our guest speakers on Saturday evening. As we were finishing up our 3-hour-long hair, makeup, photo session. The Fowlers arrived, and they were allowed to kind of be there at the tail end of our photo session. So we kind of had some mingling and hanging out going while we were finishing up photos before we transitioned to kind of a workshop where they shared some things with us about their story. And rather than have Dennis and Julie prepare some professional presentation slideshow, I asked them just to share their story of how they became coaches and how they do this together as a couple. And through telling the story, Dennis shared that he has a history of a career in law enforcement. Well, immediately, Kelly, who's also in law enforcement, just like bells and whistles started going off for him, and he was tuned in and he was listening. From that point forward, during the retreat, Kelly was like on it. He was talking to everybody about coaching, about the business. You could tell that there was a shift for him. And Sunday morning, after Brandy gave the most beautiful, heartfelt testimony that I think I've ever heard about her struggles and overcoming them, Kelly was a changed coach. He is a Christian man. He's a former youth pastor. He's in law enforcement. And I didn't even put all of this together. So I'm planning this retreat thinking, oh, Dennis and Julie would be great speakers. They're friends of mine. They're a couple. They do this together. That'd be really cool for some of the couples on our team to see. Not even thinking that there would be this connection for Kelly Smith. Then Brandy gives her testimony Sunday morning, and certainly her intent was to bless all of us and to share from her heart. Kelly caught the spark. So when I think about Renee and Kelly attending our retreat this weekend and the relevance that has for you, it's that you may be coming to this with your spouse kind of not fully on board or not really understanding what you're doing, supporting you, and in some cases they don't support us. You know, my husband and I struggled a little bit with him not really supporting me in this for a while, and now he does, and he shared some of that this weekend. But it's not just you. So, you know, Kelly came along the retreat thinking he's just there to support Renee, and he leaves on fire about working this business with her. What an immense blessing for her. I was texting with her on the way home as they were driving home from Granbury that day, and she's like, Kelly has not stopped talking to everyone that he knows the entire way home about Shakeology, how it allows him to maintain a really rigorous workout schedule with CrossFit, Jiu-Jitsu. He goes to the gym and lifts weights. Like, this guy is a workout Nazi. And he starts sharing with everybody that he knows. He signed up a new coach. He's got 3 or 4 more people ready to sign up just any day now. So when Renee is telling you he started getting involved, boy, did he ever. So, again, unexpected outcome of this retreat this weekend. Renee was coming as a business building coach to learn and grow and connect for her own business. Her husband catches the spark and now is, I have no doubt, going to be a relentless business building coach with his wife. Totally didn't intend that. And I know that's personally valuable to Renee. It blesses her heart because she's been working her tail off by herself. Her sponsor coach quit, and she was like the little orphan. I had to bring in my little foster child coach to help her. And to have him by her side, I know just is a joy to her heart, and he's going to be amazing. So that was a super cool story I wanted you to be sure to hear. Okay, now to Melissa. Bring you on, see if we can get you unmuted. And we can't hear her. Oh, goodness. Okay. We had this problem last time when Melissa was on, so I'm going to speak for her. She's going to answer questions in chat. Okay. We're going to try this. So the first question for Melissa is, What? Oh, okay. She made a post earlier in our event page. I'll pull that up. And I'll just read you guys what she said earlier today because it's really, really powerful. Let me take just a second to pull that up. Wes says that our team needs a technology intervention. And I think maybe he's right. And of course, oh, and my phone dies as I'm trying to bring up Melissa's post. Let me pull it up on my computer. Renee and Melissa are laughing at me. Okay. Luckily, my computer is working beautifully tonight. Somebody knock on wood before it decides not to. Usually, it's my computer that's on the blink. Okay. The cool thing about Melissa's story to me while I pull this up is that she was actually thinking about not coming to the retreat. And she recently has been doing Shalene Johnson's Courageous Confidence Club, I think that's what it's called, and realized and discovered that she truly is an introvert. Even though she's really playful and fun and you know, so gracious to host things at her house or get together with people, it's really draining for introverts to do that. And I'm an introvert as well, so I can completely relate. Let's see, past events. So she was really thinking about not coming this past weekend, and to hear what she had to say and share about what it meant to her and for her really made me cry. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to read you what she shared in our event page earlier. I asked them to share about their big takeaway, what they learned from this weekend that they'll be applying, and then what the weekend meant to them personally. And here's what Melissa had to say. I did not want to go be around people. I don't know, for fear of them not liking me, etc. I came up with every excuse and even wished myself sick, but finally went anyway. The outcome? Personally, I had the best weekend! Exclamation point. I met several new lifelong friends. My daughter made a new lifelong friend. My husband took a break from studying and actually came to the retreat to hang out one night, which was awesome too. I even took photos with people watching for a photo shoot in a sleeveless shirt. Big deal because I never like my arms. I'm very glad I went and extremely pleased with stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something scary. On the business side, I love the live power hour idea. Why should you guys go to events in the future, like Super Saturday, Super Sunday, Summit, next year's retreat? Because, duh, she says, we are fun. You get ideas, you get inspired, and you realize you are not alone. So I want to pick a few things out of that to elaborate on with you guys. Wes and Katie's daughter, Lila, really hit it off with Melissa's daughter, Riley. They're both 7, and instantly, within moments of the two of them arriving, there was giggling, just endless giggling going on as they ran around and played together the entire weekend. We hardly heard a peep out of them other than when they were asking for music so they could sing and dance. Just an incredible, precious thing to watch these two little girls who may not have ever met if it weren't for our team and this retreat seriously connect and build a friendship that I know neither of them will ever forget each other or this weekend. And I know that, you know, when Melissa comes back to East Texas to visit her family, and Wes and Katie live right there in Lindale, I know there will be connections made at the park to let the girls meet up and play. The girls asked to have a sleepover. And this has nothing to do with business. But when you can bring your life and your family and a business opportunity and a fitness journey all together in one thing, it is the most powerful thing I've ever been a part of, aside from my faith journey with the Holy Spirit guiding and leading me. This thing with Beachbody, the family feel of our team, the fact that we can all get together with strangers, people can bring their children, and it's such an atmosphere of acceptance and love and self-improvement, and that friction between struggling to better yourself and trying to grow through self-doubt and insecurity and fear of people not liking you and fear of wearing sleeveless shirts for a photo shoot. You know, it made Renee really uncomfortable to get her hair and makeup done, but oh my gosh, total hottie. It was crazy. So when that happens within the place of safety, and I've already said acceptance, but that's the word that just keeps coming to me, you can't help but have just complete joy in being in an environment like that. You can't deny it, can't ignore it, you can't not value it, because who doesn't want to be in a place like that? Who doesn't want to be loved and accepted and valued exactly as they are? Getting in front of the camera for that photo shoot was very interesting to listen to and watch. You know, I get nervous about pictures just like anybody, but I guess I'd had more time to think about it and contemplate it because I've been planning this retreat in my mind for 6 or 8 months. And a lot of the girls, even the guys, were nervous about the photo shoot. And I think once everybody started to get hair and makeup done and we started, you know, comparing outfits and what are you going to wear, what are you going to wear, and even trading shirts, all the girls were trading shirts. That was a real bonding experience for us because it was kind of scary to step in front of the camera. And there was always lights and professional photographer. And again, that lesson of getting out of your comfort zone and doing something scary, even terrifying, is so, the payoff is huge. It never leaves you with less. It always leaves you with more when you go for it and you do things like this. So, you know, for Melissa to be looking for any and every excuse to not come, thinking, maybe I don't feel well, maybe I feel a headache coming on, is my throat scratchy? And I've been there. I have canceled things before, you know, covered it up with some stupid excuse, but really it was just because I just was scared. So I can totally relate to that. But for her to show up and come anyway and be able to share her heart with us and be able to participate and be there for everything, it wouldn't have been the same for me if she wasn't there. And she mentioned her big aha moment on the business side as a live power hour. I want to talk to you about this a little bit right quick because Brandy Trammell and Jennifer Allen have both posted these already this week for their teams. And I'm the slacker here because I haven't, so I will see. But the basic gist of it is that this business activity tracker, here's mine, sitting right here by my desk, it seems to be something that is so daunting for people to look at and check off. And it's easy to get distracted when you're on social media. So Julie Fowler Saturday night shared something she does with her team to help make sure that they get in a power hour and they get everything done in that hour that they need to. Her philosophy is that you should never have to work your Beachbody business more than 2 to 3 hours a day, tops. And that you really should be able to get most of it done in 1 hour. So what she does is she sits down with her team and gets on a live Zoom call, which is kind of like this, except everybody can talk together more openly. And she sets a timer for certain tasks from the business activity tracker, and you have like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 10 minutes to do certain tasks. And by the end of that hour, you have completed everything that you need to do in that day to move your business forward, to hit Success Club, to expand your market, to add value to the people following you on social media, to invite people to join your team, and so on and so forth. So it's a really practical tip that we all walked away with that we'll be utilizing in our team. So be on the lookout for opportunities to get on those live power hours. Jennifer's offered several this week. Brandy had one, I think, last night. I did a small one with my group of 3 coaches I'm mentoring right now. We did a little one on Tuesday night. So be on the lookout for that. Encourage all of you, even if you're a newer coach and you only have 1 coach under you or 2, you guys, 3 of you, can get on a Zoom call together, and you can set a timer for each task, and you can move through the business activity tracker as well and build your business in a small group with your team. So that's a wonderful tip that is going to be very, very useful for all of us as we, number 1, try to hold ourselves accountable to those daily behaviors, and 2, cultivate and duplicate those same actions for our team. So, okay, Melissa, thanks for bearing with me. I'm checking the chat over here to see what's going on. Okay, Melissa, do you have anything else to add to that? She's looking for something. Oh, the important person promise. You're going to have to elaborate. I don't remember. Oh, bear with us 1 second. Melissa's typing. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is a great tip that Dennis and Julie talked about as well. See, okay, this is where Melissa, being a red personality type, helps me. I'm a blue. So I'm all about the feelings and the vision and the big picture, and she's reminding me of a detail, which I desperately need help with. So another thing Dennis and Julie Fowler talked about on Saturday night that was really helpful for a lot of us with spouses or kids that may resent what we're doing with our business, a way to get them involved is to do what they call the important person promise. So let's say you're like my new coach, Amy Hoffman, who is working to save up enough money to take her family to Disney World and not go in debt doing it. So she's going to work her Beachbody business and save up all the money that she earns and take her family to Disney World. So that's a really tangible example. So she can explain to her children and her husband, look, this is what mommy is doing. When I make this amount of money, we are going to Disney World. And she can create, a poster and mark off the certain levels that they've got to get to, let her kids color it in on the poster and be a part of what she's doing. For older kids, they can help to check in on your challenge groups. They can go through and click like on all your challengers posts. They can learn how to use PicMonkey or different photo enhancing apps on your phone and do recognition pictures for your team. But the idea is that you make a promise to the important people in your life that what you're doing with your business has something valuable for them in store, and you can bring them in and let them be a part of the goal, part of the process, so that they don't feel resentful that, oh, mom's going to have to do that Beachbody thing again. And instead of feeling like it's taking you away from them, they can feel like it's a shared goal that you have in your family. She used kids a lot, and our discussion kind of went towards kids a lot as we discussed different ways that children can help out with the business, but it could easily be something that you do with your spouse as well. If you know that it's really important to your spouse to get out of debt, or if your spouse is in a job that's just a really toxic work environment and your promise to them is that you're going to make enough money that they can quit their job, or perhaps take a job with lower pay that's less toxic emotionally, when you can make that a certain focus for your business with your spouse, your children, your extended family, and let them be a part of what you're doing, it prevents that resentment from forming that can sometimes build there when they don't understand why you're doing this and what it's for. It makes it more tangible and more real to them. They can associate your daily behaviors of building a business with a goal or an event that they will get to take part of as well. So that's a really, really, really important aspect of what we talked about. And, for Melissa and her family, they like to take a yearly trip to Disney World, and she plans it all out to a T, what they're going to do when, all the different shows they're going to see, all the things they're going to do each day. And it's a highlight of the year for their family. Last year, they surprised Riley, their little girl, with it around her birthday and totally woke her up in the morning and whisked her off to Disney. So it's a really important, big deal for their family. It's part of their tradition and their culture. So her working her Beachbody business allows her family to be able to do that. So her husband, Jason, and her daughter, Riley, can share in that goal with her and know all of these things that she's doing has an end result. And she even told us that Riley will hold her accountable and say, Mom, have you done your Beachbody business today? Have you checked in on your challengers? Have you sold enough challenge packs? Have you made Success Club? Because she knows that everything Mom does with her Beachbody business allows her to go to Disney World with her mom and dad. So think about how you can apply that in your family, in your life, to bring the people that you care about, those that are important to you, into what you're doing as well. So thanks, Melissa, for bringing that important aspect up. Well, we are coming up on the end of our call, and I just want to wrap up by saying that for me personally, planning an event like this, talk about out of your comfort zone. I am not a details person. I'm working on that, and I think I'm getting better. But it's a struggle for me to do things like that, to host things at my house or put together events. I find it really hard to plan ahead and think of everything. And so for me, I got so caught up in the planning and the details and kind of that sense of panic the last week or so before the retreat that when I was sitting at our lake house on Sunday afternoon after everyone had left and gone home, kind of sat down for a minute outside on the back porch. The sun had come out. It was a beautiful afternoon, and I just sat there and kind of let myself and I was so overwhelmed with gratitude at how beautiful and special and fun the whole weekend was. And I didn't plan that. And it reminded me again to give glory to God, because I'm just one person with a lot of flaws and a lot of weaknesses and a really busy life. And the fact that God could take little old me, I was 50 pounds overweight, 4 kids, coming out of a horrible phase of life, 2 cancer diagnoses, financial disaster. Back in 2011, I came to this Beachbody business just wanting to feel like I could have some control over my body. If I could lose weight and get control over that situation, maybe I could feel like I had some control over my life again. I wanted to reclaim my own identity. And I'd never, ever imagined that this would be the outcome. I never imagined this. I had no idea what I was opening myself up to, and the abundance of blessings and relationships and opportunities that were going to come my way simply because I chose to take a step of faith and take a risk and give this thing a try. My husband shared Friday night at our retreat. I asked everybody to go around the room. I put them all on the spot, and I said, tell me the top 2 things that this business has done for you, that if it was all gone tomorrow, you would look back and go, it was that thing. That's what I'll miss the most, or it gave me that. And my husband went last. He was kind of going in and out, not sure if he should participate or go, I don't know, handle something outside. I don't know what he was doing. But he came in at some point, and I said, okay, your turn. And deer in the headlights, he does not like to speak in front of crowds or audiences. And without really even missing a beat, he said, Beachbody gave me my wife back. So as I sat there on that porch Sunday afternoon, just reflecting on the weekend, I thought, you know, he got it totally wrong, because Beachbody didn't give him the old wife he had back. It gave him a newer, better, stronger, more confident, more passionate person who I just continue to look forward to seeing who I'm going to become. And that's, to me, the value of this weekend, is I watched people that I respect and love and adore and admire come together and accept each other and grow together and become an even better version of themselves. And that's what I want for everybody on this entire team, is for the people in your life to go, wow, you have changed, and you're on this journey, and you're growing, and I love watching you, because I never know what you're going to do next to advance your goals, to put yourself out there and take a risk and become a better version of yourself than you were before. I want all of you to know what that feels like in here. It's really beyond words, and I'm so humbled to have spent this weekend with so many amazing people from our team. And I want all of you to find a Super Saturday or Super Sunday to attend in April. I want all of you to be at Summit, and I already want you to plan to be at the Diamond Retreat next March. So start taking steps now to make sure that you're a Diamond rank or higher by next March. You'll hit it way before then. But incredible stuff. Next week we will resume our normal calls with teaching and lessons and cool tips and tricks that you can use. I want to talk to you guys about Instagram next Thursday night, because I am blowing it up over on Instagram. So be sure you're following me at Miranda Fresh and Fit on Instagram. And go ahead and create an account, because I'm going to teach you how to do some things to get some momentum going over there, combined with a couple of things Dennis Fowler taught us last weekend at the retreat. You guys are going to be able to expand your market in a whole new way. So be on the call next week, 8:30 Central Time, next Thursday night. Get your coaches on. Love you all, and good night.